So in this video, we are going to learn how to automatically add Paytm payment details to Microsoft Excel. Let's say you're using Paytm to collect your business-related payments from your customer. Now you want that whenever you receive a payment, you want to add the details of the same payment in Microsoft Excel. So let me tell you, you can completely automate this process. So using this automation, whenever you are going to receive a new payment on your Paytm business account, automatically the details of that payment will be added in your Microsoft Excel as well. Now, if you want to know how you can set up this automation, for that, you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, this is my Paytm business account. Now I want that whenever we are going to receive any payment from a customer on Paytm business, we want to add the details of that payment in our Microsoft Excel sheet. Now to do this, we have to connect Paytm business with Microsoft Excel. But we don't have any direct connection between them. But we all know that whenever we receive a new payment on Paytm business, Paytm also sends us an email notification for the received payment, as you can see over here. Now what we are going to do, we are going to use this email to get the payment details, to get the received payment details, and from this email, we are going to extract the details of the payment which we have received on Paytm business. And then we are going to add those details in our Microsoft Excel sheet. And to do this, we are going to use an automation and integration platform called Up Pabbly Connect. So here you can see we are on Up Pabbly Connect's dashboard, and to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Up Pabbly Connect in the description box below. After coming to this dashboard, what we have to do, we have to create an automation workflow inside Up Pabbly Connect. So just click on this Create Workflow button and give this workflow a name. So I'll name it as Paytm Payment Details to MS Excel. And then just select the folder of your Up Pabbly Connect account in which you want to create the workflow and click on Create. Now as you click on Create, here you can see the workflow is open over here. In this workflow, you can see two different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's start with our trigger window. Now the idea here is we are getting email notification on our registered email from Paytm of the received payment. So what we want to do, first we want to get all the emails which we are receiving on our Gmail account inside Up Pabbly Connect. So using a feature or module of Up Pabbly Connect called Email Parser, what we are going to do, we are going to forward all the emails from our Gmail account to Up Pabbly Connect. So whenever we are going to receive an email on our Gmail account, the same email will be received inside Up Pabbly Connect as well. And this automation will trigger. Then after that, in this automation workflow, we are going to check whether that particular email is received from Paytm or not, and whether that particular email contains the detail of received payment or not. If that email is received from Paytm business and it contains the payment received detail, the details of the payment which we have received, in that case, using Up Pabbly Connect automation, we are going to extract the details of the payment from this particular email, and in the next step, we are going to add those details in our Microsoft Excel sheet. Now let's see how it is done. As I told you, first here in the trigger step, we have to select Email Parser over here. So after selecting Email Parser, Up Pabbly Connect gave us an email address, and all the emails sent on this email address will be received inside your Up Pabbly Connect workflow. So what we have to do, we have to add this email address, we have to forward emails from our Gmail account to this particular email address. And to do this, just copy this email address from here and then go to your Gmail account. After coming to Gmail, just go to the settings section and click on See All Settings. Under settings section, you can see this option of forwarding and POP/IMAP. Just click on it, and the first thing over here you see is forwarding. Just click on this Add a Forwarding Address, and here in this pop-up box, we have to enter the exact same email address which Up Pabbly Connect gave us. Just copy it from here and then paste it over here. After pasting this email address, just click on Next, and as we click on Next, it asks us to verify our Google account. So we will just verify our Google account once over here. And I have verified it. Now after verifying it, here it is asking us that whether we want to proceed with the forwarding of the emails to this email address or not. So just click on this proceed button, and as we click on proceed, the forwarding address is now added in our Gmail account. Now it is showing us that a confirmation link is sent to this particular email address given by Pabbly Connect to verify permission. So we have added this forwarding in our Gmail account, but Gmail team has sent an email to this email address that whether they want to receive the emails from our account or not. So as I told you, all the emails sent on this email address, this email parser email address, are received inside Pabbly Connect. And here in our Pabbly Connect workflow, in this trigger step, you can see we have received the response. In this response, you can see we have received an email from Gmail team. And the subject of this email is Gmail forwarding confirmation receive email. That it is a forwarding confirmation that whether we want to receive the emails from this Gmail account or not. Then after that, we will just scroll down, and after scrolling down, here you can see a response called as body text. And in this response, you will see the details of the exact same email. You can see the body of the email which the Gmail team has sent. And in this email body, you can see they have sent us a link. We will just copy this link. We will just copy this URL from here and then paste it in a new tab. And after pasting it, it is asking us for the confirmation that whether we want to receive the emails from this particular email address or not. So just click on this confirm button, and as we click on confirm, the confirmation is successfully given. This means now we have successfully forwarded emails from our Gmail account to our Pabbly Connect workflow to the email parser email address. Now after doing this, just refresh this settings page of our Gmail profile once, and here you can see in front of forwarding, we have this forwarding email address. But here by default, it is selected disable forwarding. From this, we have to select this option of forward a copy of incoming email to this email parser email, and then just scroll down and click on save changes. And as we click on save changes, here you can see the forwarding is now added over here. Now every time we receive a new email on our Gmail account, automatically the details of that email, the same email will be received inside Pabbly Connect. Now after doing this, what we have to do, we have to basically click on this recapture email parser response button. And after clicking on it, it has now changed to waiting for email parser response. This means Pabbly Connect trigger is waiting to get some new email from our Gmail account. So what I am going to do, because we are setting up this automation to retrieve the details of the email received from Paytm, I'll just ask one of my friends to send me a payment on my Paytm business. As I receive the payment, we are going to get the email over here. And yes, here you can see on my Paytm account, just now I have received a payment of 100 rupees over here. And as I receive this payment, we will see automatically within seconds, I have also received an email notification on my email address with the same payment details. So here you can see we have received the payment of 100 rupees over here, and then we have the same amount in text. Also here you can see that from which particular user we have received this payment. We have our account name, that in which particular account on our Paytm business profile this particular payment is received. So we have received the payment in account of this user, our business account. Then we have the date and time, that at what date and time the payment was received, and also the order ID. So in this way, you can see whenever we received a payment on Paytm Business, we have received an email notification. But here guys, what we have done, we have forwarded the emails from our Gmail account to Pabbly Connect. So we'll go back to our Pabbly Connect workflow, and yes, here you can see in our Pabbly Connect workflow in this trigger step responses, you can see we have received some response. In this response, you can see we have received the email from this email address of Paytm. No reply @paytm.com. So from this email, we have received the email. The subject line of this email is ₹100 paid by, and we have the number of the person with some hidden digits, and we have the date and time, that at what date and time the payment was received. Then after that, we will scroll down and we will check the body of this email. So here we have the body text, and here under body text, you can see when we'll expand the body of this email, you can see all the details of the payment which we have received in this email. You can see all of these details over here. So here you can see we have the amount of the payment. So here you can see after payment received, we have this amount of the payment, that is 100. This is the code for the rupee symbol which we have before this over here. Then after that, here you can see we have the amount of the payment in words. We will scroll down. Here you can see that from which particular customer we have received the payment. We have their details. Then in which particular account we have received the payment. we have the date, that at what date and time the payment was received, and also the order ID. So in this way, all the details of the received payment which we have in our email, the same email is received inside Pabbly Connect. So this means the first step of setting up this automation is completed. We have successfully received the emails which we were receiving on our Gmail account inside Pabbly Connect. But now after this, let's move to step 2. In step 2, what we have to do, using this email forwarder, Gmail is going to send all the emails from our Gmail account to Pabbly Connect. But we don't want to do that. We only want to receive the emails which Paytm is sending us with the received payment details, payment received details. So to ensure this, to collect or get the details or the data of only those emails which Paytm is sending us with payment received details, we have to add a filter condition over here. And to add this kind of filter, we will just scroll down and come to this Actions tab. Now here in Choose App, just select Filter over here. After selecting Filter by Pabbly, in Action Event from this drop-down, select Filter Values and click on Connect. After clicking on Connect, here it is asking us to add a filter. And here in this filter, the first thing it asks us is to select the label. So here in this drop-down, you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from email parser from Gmail of a new email. Out of all of this, we are going to select the response of this from address because we only want to receive the emails which we are receiving from Paytm. So here we have selected the label of from address, the filter type will be equals to, and here in value, we have to enter the exact same email address from which we have received the email. So we have received the email from this email address of noreply@paytm.com. So we'll just copy this email from here, can go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. So in this way, we have added the value, the email address, that if the email is received from this particular email address, only in that case, the automation will be continued further. And from Paytm as well, we don't want to extract the details of all the emails. Only the emails in which we are receiving the details of the received payment, we only want to extract the details of those emails and add them into our MS Excel sheet. So what we are going to do, we are just going to click on this plus button of add and condition, and we are going to add another filter condition. This time from the drop down, we are going to search for the body of the email. So we are going to search for the response of body text over here. Just select it, and every time we receive an email from Paytm of a received payment, in the body of the email, we will get this text of payment received. So we are going to add a filter condition of that. If the body text of the email contains payment received, this particular word, only in that case the automation workflow will be continued. So first condition is that the email should be received from Paytm, and the second condition is that the email body should contain payment received, this word. So we have added these two conditions. Now let's click on Save and Send Test Request, and as we click on Save and Send Test Request, it is going to show us that the condition is true over here. Because the email which we have received from email parser for now, whose response we have captured, fulfills both of this condition. It is received from Paytm, and we have the payment received, this particular word, in the email body. Now after adding this filter condition, what we have to do in the next step, we have to start extracting the details of the payment from this email. So the first information that we are going to extract is the amount of the payment over here. And to do this, we are going to use a feature of Pabbly Connect, a module of Pabbly Connect called Text Formatter. So just click on this Add Action Step button over here, and then here in Choose App, search for Text Formatter. Just select it. After selecting Text Formatter by Pabbly, in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Text Parser. Then just click on Connect. After clicking on Connect, here it is asking us for the text. That what is the text, what is the response you want to pass, from what text you want to extract some details over here. So here in text, we have to actually map the response of the email body which we have received over here. So we have to map this response of body text received in trigger step from email parser to this text formatter action step. And the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field, and here in the drop down, you will see a list of all the responses which we have received from previous two steps. Out of all of these responses, from the response of email parser, select the response of body text and it will be mapped. In this way, whatever email body we are going to receive in the email from Paytm, the same email body will be given to text parser. Then after mapping the body of the email over here, the body text after giving the text, it is asking us text match after and text match before. So here what we have to do, we have to enter the text after which you want to extract the string in text match after. And in text match before, we have to enter the text before which we want to extract the string. So the first thing which we want to get from this email is the amount of the payment. So here you can see we have this amount of the payment, rupees 100. Now it is entered, it is written in this email after payment received. So we have this payment received written over here, and after payment received, we have the amount of the payment. And amount of the payment, rupees 100, is written before this rupee over here. So here we are going to write payment received as a text match after, because we have the string, we have the content which we want to extract after payment received. So I'll write payment received. And then in text match before, we are having this word rupee. So we are going to write rupee over here. So whatever content or whatever text we are going to have between text match after and text match before, we will get that particular text in response. So just click on this save and send test request button. And as we click on save and send test request, here you can see in response, we have rupees 100 over here. So as you can see, the content between text match after and text match before, you can see we have extracted that content over here. So in this way, using this text parser, we are going to extract all the details one by one. So we have extracted the amount of the payment. Now in the next step, we are going to extract the amount of the payment in Word. This is written between rupee and only. So rupee is the content. We are going to have rupee written over here in this email every time we are going to receive a payment for any amount. And we will be also having this only word at the last. So our text match after will be rupee and our text match before will be only, because we want to extract the text, extract the content between both of these words. So what we are going to do, we are going to use another step of text parser. Now, instead of adding a new step, we can just clone this existing step which we have created just now. Just click on these three dots and click on this clone step button. Now, as we click on clone step, here you can see another step of text formatter is added. Just click on it and here you can see the text is already mapped over here. Now, what we have to do, we just have to change the text match after and text match before. So we'll just clear both of the values. In text match after, we are going to write rupee over here because we want to get the text after rupee. So we'll just copy it from here and we will just write it over here. And here in text match before, we want to get the text before only. We want to get the text or the string which we have before only. So we'll just write only over here. And the text match after and text match before are case sensitive. You write the same thing with capital and small letters. And after that, just click on save and send test request. Now when we click on save and send test request, here you can see in response, you can see the amount of the payment, amount for which we have received the payment in words is been extracted. Now after amount of the payment extracting in words, we want to get the details of the person who made the payment. And here you can see we have this from detail, that from which customer we have received the payment, after from and before in account of. So our text match after will be from and text match before will be in account of. So we'll go to a Pabbly Connect workflow and we are going to just clone this same text formatter step. Just clone the step and this time we're just going to change the text match after and text match before. So here in text match after, we are going to write from over here. Just copy it from here and then paste it over here. And in text match before, just copy this in account of from here and then paste it over here in text match before. So we have the details of the customer between from and in account of. So we have entered it over here and click on save and send test request. And when we click on save and send test request, here you can see we have the details of the customer, that from which customer and using which method we have received the payment. Then after that, in the next step, what we want to do, we want to extract the date and time of the payment as well, that at what date and time the payment is received. So we have this date and time before order ID and after name of our business. So we have this in account of, we have the account name, that in Paytm business in which particular account the payment is received. So here you can see I have my account name, but instead of this, you will be having your account name. And your account name which is written over here will be your text match after because we want to get the date and time which is written after this. And our text match before will be order ID. So let's do it. Once again, we'll clone the exact same step of text formatter and change the text match after and text match before. So we'll just clear it, and then here I'll just write my business name. I'll just copy it from here and then paste it over here. Then in text match before, we are going to write order ID and then click on save and send test request. Now when we click on save and send test request, here you can see the date and time of the payment is received inside Pabbly Connect. After receiving the date and time, the last information, the last detail which we want to receive is the order ID. So order ID is written after order ID colon and before for any assistance. So here what we are going to do, we will just clone the exact same step once again for the last time. Just clone the step and then we are going to write order ID as text match after. So because we want to get the order ID written after order ID, so here we will just write this. And here in text match before, we are going to write this for any assistant, this particular text. And that is it. Click on save and send test request, and in response, you can see the order ID is also received. So in this way, using text formatter action text parser, we have extracted all the details of the received payment from the email in which we have received the of payment being received in our Paytm business account. Now, after extracting all of these details, we want to add these details in our Microsoft Excel sheet. So for that, we will just scroll down, click on this Add Action Step button over here. And then here in Choose App, we are going to search for Microsoft Excel. Just select it. After selecting Microsoft Excel, an action event from the drop-down, select the action event as Add Row to Worksheet. Then just click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here, we have to connect our Microsoft Excel account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this Connect with Microsoft Excel button. Now because I have already logged into my Microsoft Excel online account, here you can see Pabbly Connect will detect the same account. Just scroll down, give the consent and click on Accept. And as we click on Accept, we will see our Microsoft Excel account will get connected with Pabbly Connect over here. And after making this connection, the first thing it asks us is the workbook. So here in this drop-down, you can see a list of all the workbooks which I have created in my Microsoft Excel online account. Out of all of this, the workbook in which I want to add the payment details is named as Paytm Payment Details. So I'm going to select that particular workbook in which I want to add the payment details. After selecting the workbook, it is asking us the worksheet. So it is most likely possible that in your Excel workbook, you might have created multiple sheets and you will see a list of all the sheets in this drop-down of worksheet. Right now in this workbook, I have only one sheet named as Sheet 1. That's why in the drop-down, you can see only one option and I want to add the details of the payment in this Sheet 1. So I'm selecting it. Then after selecting the worksheet, here you can see all the column of data which we have created in our Excel sheet. You can see all of these columns as fields over here. And you can see the column headers as well. Now one by one what we have to do, we have to map the respective details into their field. So the first column is of date and time. As you can see, the first field over here is of date and time. Now here in the field of date and time, we are going to map the date and time of the payment, that what date and time the payment was received. So using text formatter, we have extracted the date and time of the payment as well, as you can see over here. So what we have to do, we have to map this response of date and time from text formatter action step to this Microsoft Excel action step in this field. And the process of mapping stays the same. Just click on this field and here in the drop down, you can see a list of all the responses of previous step. So all the responses which we have received in previous step, you can see all of that. Out of all of this, using text formatter, we have received the date and time. So select and map the response of date and time over here. Then it is asking us for the order ID. So using text formatter for the last time, we have extracted the order ID. So from the drop down, map that response. Then it is asking us from. So using text formatter, we have extracted the details of the customer, that from which customer we have received the payment. Just select it and map it to. Then using text formatter for the first time, we have extracted the amount of the payment, so map it. And at last, after using text formatter for the second time, we have received the amount in words. So select it and map it too. So in this way, we have extracted all the details of the payment from our email, and one by one, we have mapped all the details in this Microsoft Excel action step. And after mapping all the details, just click on Save and Send Test Request. Now when we click on Save and Send Test Request, here we are going to see that we will receive some response. And in this response, you can see all the details which we have mapped over here. All the details of the payment which we have extracted from the email, all of these details are now added in our Microsoft Excel sheet. So let's check the Microsoft Excel sheet. And yes, here you can see in our Excel sheet, the details of the exact same payment which we have received on Paytm Business. The details of the same payment are now added over here. So here you can see the same date and time, that at what date and time the payment was received. We have the order ID, we have the from number, we have the amount of the payment, and we have the amount of the payment in words as well. This means the automation workflow which we have created using Pabbly Connect to extract the details of the received payment from email and adding them into Microsoft Excel, this automation is working perfectly fine. And after setting up this automation, whenever we are going to receive a new payment on Paytm Business, automatically the details of that payment will be added in Microsoft Excel. Now after setting up this automation, let's test this automation workflow once. I'll just receive another payment on my Paytm Business account. And yes, just now I have received a payment on my Paytm Business account. So here you can see on my Paytm Business profile, you will see the same payment that we have received, and the amount for this payment is 150 rupees, as you can see. And as I received this payment, we have also received an email notification for the same payment. And because we have created this automation, we will see within few seconds the details of this exact same payment will be added in Microsoft Excel. And yes, here you can see just now I have received a payment on my Paytm Business account, and automatically the details of that payment is added over here. Here you can see the date and time, that at what date and time I have received the payment. You can see the order ID. You can see the from details, that from which user I have received the payment. Then I have the amount and the amount in words. This means the automation workflow which we have created using Pabbly Connect, this automation is working perfectly fine. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this exact same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this automation workflow for free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can email us at support@pabbly.com or post it on our forum over here. Or you can write us in the comment box below too. If you want to check out the pricing of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this link. And if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Pabbly. So this is it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.